In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I painted this cute panda in a loose and atmospheric style in watercolor. So the first thing I'm doing is to decide where I'm going to start my painting so that I have enough space left for the rest of the subject that I'm going to be painting on later. Because I haven't used a pencil sketch in this piece, so this step is very important. Once I wet the section for the eye and I was happy with it, I decided to add color. And as you can see, I'm not using the color black because it can look kind of flat, so I decide to mix my own blacks depending on the subject that I'm painting. For example, for today's painting in watercolor, I decided to use the colors Lunar Blue and Moon Glow and mix them together and use it as my black. They also very granulating colors, so as long as I add enough water, they're gonna give me very nice and beautiful texture. Here I'm deciding where is going to be the next ear that I'm going to paint, and once I'm happy with it and I wet it, then I add the color. I do the same thing with the rest of the painting, and I use a very dry brush like you can see right now. So there's basically no water in my brush, and I use that to soften the edges and create some fur-like texture, which is very suitable for a panda. I use the technique of charging a lot, so when I wet my paper and add a tiny bit of color, once I'm happy with the placement of the color, I like to add more pigment, because as you know, watercolor dries a lot paler, and it's good to add as much as pigment as you want, especially for a subject like this. Here I added some quinacridone gold and opera pink for the white parts of his face, because you never want to leave too much white paper in your paintings. Even if you are a landscape painter and you're painting waterfalls, it's still good to add a tiny bit of touch of other colors to add more life to your paintings. Here I'm using Saunders watercolor paper, but I kind of regret it because the colors I'm using in this painting are very granulating, and if I use Arch watercolor paper instead, that would just give me a lot more interesting texture effects. If you don't have these colors, you can also use French ultramarine plus burnt sienna to create a really nice black which has more depth and overall looks a lot better than just black. I really like this dry brush effect, especially in animal paintings, but you can also use your finger to just drag the pigment a little bit and soften it at the same time as well. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video of a panda but using a pencil sketch. And here I'm using a tissue to lift some color. The best thing about Saunders watercolor paper is that it just stays wet a lot longer than the rest of them. So you rarely get backgrounds or cauliflowers where you don't want them. As you can see, I start painting any section with lunar blue because it's less staining color, and when I'm sure that I'm happy about the placement, so I add the other pigment, which is moon glow, which is harder to remove than lunar blue. I just added some white gouache, very thick consistency, to the already wet pigment, so his nails is kind of blend in, and I can later add more white on top of it. I find that adding a touch of purple or purplish color to your blacks or darks can make it look a lot nicer. Here I mixed a kind of dirty opera pink, so I think I had a little bit brown left in my palette, and I just mixed it with opera pink to make it look more neutralized and more natural. And I purposely added opera pink because I'm going to be adding some green later, and having pink and green is a really nice complementary color to have in your paintings. And in here I'm doing the same technique, which is wetting the paper first and then adding the color, and then charging the color as much as I think is needed. I just added some cascade green to add some variety and a touch of pink. It's really subtle, you can barely see it, but it can really help with creating a harmony in your paintings. When you work in this technique, you basically want to forget the subject that you're actually painting, and you want to focus on the actual shapes and their angles and their proportions comparing to each other. Here I'm adding another layer of lunar blue because the first layer was kind of pale, and actually you want it to be pale because the more layers you add, you kind of create more depth and character into your paintings. But I'm making sure the second layer is pale, so I'm not losing any of those beautiful granulating effects that I got underneath it. And here I'm adding some final details using the same colors but a little bit more thicker consistency. You can add as much as you want, but I just like to keep it simple and as minimalistic as possible.